Investors will be watching Wall Street today after financial markets experienced a sharp downturn yesterday. Among Wall Street's concerns is a crisis for one of China's top real estate developers, Evergrande. The indebted firm is at risk of default of its interest payments, which could continue to have a ripple effect on the global economy. The developer currently holds more than $300 billion in debt, roughly 2% of China's GDP. Analysts expect Evergrande to miss more interest payments this week. With fall right around the corner, many of us will be visiting an apple orchard or a pumpkin patch, but many orchards, large and small, are faced with a big dilemma. Hannah Bochert spoke with two owners about the problem.
Due to the warm early spring this year and the frost in May, many orchards are experiencing a lack of apples.
There's many varieties here that didn't have an apple on a tree.
Casey's Orchard in Stevens Point says in 53 years, this is the second lowest supply of apples he's had in a season next to 2012. He blames the weather.
Early in spring, we had this 80-degree weather, and then within a week, it dropped right down in the 20s, and the buds froze on the trees before they even opened up.
A lot of work goes into maintaining the orchard. There's keeping up with the grass cutting, spraying about every 10 days for months, picking the apples, selling the apples, and pruning the trees for the next year.
It's a year-round process.
Usually, he and his family would be selling apples until March, but this year he's not sure they'll make it through October with their low supply.
When we sold out, we'll have to close the place up for the season.
Wilson Creek Orchard was also hit hard.
Wilson Creek Orchard will not be open this year due to the low apple supply.
Nillison says it's the worst year they've had.
We lost about 99.5% of our apples this year.
Usually these crates would be full and would fill the entire room, but they're empty. After picking 750 Honeycrisp apple trees,
we have 2 bushels so far, and they're not graded yet. And we picked 150 McIntosh, and we had 9 apples.
He's not expecting more than 10 bushels in total. Usually they have around 2,000, with around 1,600 being grade A for clients.
On the bright side, if weather is normal next year, Terry says that the apples will be plentiful. Reporting in Wittenberg, Hannah Borkert, News Channel 7.
And gone are the days of giving your favorite teacher an apple. Today and tomorrow, teachers can get free cookies. Insomnia Cookies is gifting educators a free half dozen. They just need to show their school ID when they're making an in-store purchase. Well, still ahead at noon, Mr. Food combines 2 of our favorite cold day comfort foods to heat things up in the kitchen.